Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillah, salatu wassalamu ala rasulillah wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa sallama tasliman kathiran. Amma ba'd. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Let's get started with our questions. If we have any, we'll take precedence to the questions about the month of Ramadan and fasting. And if there's enough time, then we'll try to take some of the other ones, inshallah. طيب. All right, sound is good. And before we get started, don't forget, guys, Thursday, May 28th at 9 p.m. Eastern Time will be our next private workshop seminar, and it will be on inheritance according to Quran and Hadith. We just, alhamdulillah, successfully finished the Islamic will and testament. Next, we'll move on to the next stage or phase, which is al-mawarith, inheritance, the laws of inheritance, which obviously goes hand in hand with the laws of the will and the testament. Not complements, but they go hand in hand. They have to go hand in hand. And obviously one will not be complete without the other. So that's going to be on Thursday, May 28th, the last Thursday of this month, bi-idhnillahi ta'ala, at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Make sure you go to HadithDiscipleshop.com to sign up, to purchase your tickets, and to register. Jazakumullahu khairan. Tayyib. Question comes from Arab Money 30, AB London. It is mentioned in Surah Hud that the people of Hud said Hud came with no evidence. So why should they follow him? How come he never brought evidence like the rest of the prophets? Who said that what they said was correct? That's what they said. That was their claim. Whether that claim was right or wrong is not necessarily mentioned. That's what they say. All right? Okay, tayyib. So the Prophet Hud, alayhi salatu wasalam, like all of the prophets and messengers, they had proofs and evidences. Some of those proofs and evidences were bigger than others, greater than others, more miraculous than others. But Allah Azza wa Jalla sent His prophets and messengers with proofs and with evidences. Wallahu alam. Inshallah, read the whole entire story, bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. As far as a specific evidence, a specific ayah, that's a different story. One had a she-camel, one had the Quran, all right, and splitting of the moon. There are many different prophets and messengers that had different signs. Wallahu alam. I am from London. Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh. Should I leave my job to study Islam full time? I trust in Allah that He will provide my rizq. However, I am going against necessary precaution. If you want to study and seek ilm, and you feel like you have the necessary talent, you have what it takes, and you're willing to obtain the necessary skill, and there's a need for that type of knowledge, then do it. Do it. Money will come. Food will come. Bread will come. Water will come. Allah will take care of you. It's just that simple. As far as if you don't feel that you have the necessary sabr, or you don't feel that you're that good to make a difference, or there's no need for that higher level of knowledge, then seek knowledge part-time. It depends on your dream. It depends on how much you want it. If you want it, I'll say go for it. Money will come and go. Trust me. Money will come. Bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. Wallahu alam. Arab Money from London also says, how can we reconcile between places in the Quran where it says Allah won't speak to the disbelievers and other places it says He will? The Yawm al-Qiyamah is a very long day, and it's a very great day. Liyawmin azim. It's not just a day in which it's going to just come and go like that. And there are different stations and standings and parts of that day. So some parts, sometimes Allah will speak to these people, other times He will not, etc. Wallahu alam. Tayyib. Moving forward. SB from Ottawa, Ontario. Allah yahfadak ya Sheikh. How do you respond to those who say, if Islam is so great, why are the Muslim countries so far behind? May Allah bless you too. Allah yahfadakum kadhalika. That's a phenomenon, no doubt about that. And there are many phenomena in life and in this world. Those who talk about modern science, modern politics, democracy, there are countless phenomenons or phenomena things that cannot be explained and broken down, but they're true. So therefore, science is false, democracy is false, the United States of America is false, and everything is weak and false behind because they're unexplained phenomena. Would you accept that? No, you wouldn't. So the same applies to that. Answer number 2 is, the different Muslim countries, why are they so behind? Behind in what? What are they behind in? Material things, material gain, material possession? Or are they behind in morality, spirituality, character? It's a very good question to ask. Are there problems in the Muslim countries? No doubt. But let's just look at suicide. Let's look at rape. Let's look at drug abuse, alcoholism. Let's look at molesting, kidnapping kids. Let's look at the statistics. What makes a country advanced? Because they have planes and trains and shopping malls, Auntie Anne's pretzels and Cinnabon? Or does it make, or what's meant by it being advanced? Thirdly is, just because the Muslim country doesn't mean they're following the teachings of the Quran and Sunnah. And the teachings of the Quran and Sunnah clearly tell us to prepare, to save, to establish, to build, to innovate when it comes to worldly things, etc. All right? The best of the best is for the believers in this world. These are some brief answers, and if those answers are presented properly, no doubt, it can knock out the average person who's bringing this type of doubt. Wallahu alam. طيب. Razor Sharp. AA. Assalamu alaikum. Respected Sheikh. I hope you have a beneficial and accepted Ramadan. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. You too, akhi. What a name, huh? Razor Sharp. What a name. May Allah bless you. I just realized, guys, that we fell into some more mistakes again. We're answering questions now that are not specific to Ramadan. Please forgive me for my hypocrisy and for my double standard. We'll try our best to get back to the script, inshallah ta'ala. Is having balloons in your house for Eid haram in terms of decoration? No. Bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. There's nothing wrong with that. SQ, Chicago, Illinois. Are sins multiplied during Ramadan? If so, to what extent? The scholars have mentioned this. Good deeds are multiplied and enhanced in noble places and noble times. And a sin or sins could be enhanced or uglier is a better word because of a noble time or a noble place. The Quran clearly affirms he who brings or he who performs the sayyah, فَلَا يُجْزَى, and then he only be rewarded except the like of it, not 10. It's not multiplied. However, the graveness of the sin, the gravity of the sin. Wallahu alam. Khair, inshallah. Alright, those are all the Ramadan questions. Now let's go back and see if we have more general questions. Caution, please mention your initials, brother or sister. Mahmoud G, ATL, Georgia. Should one seek out making hijrah permanently even if able to seek knowledge in America? Hijrah has many reasons. If you feel that you need to make hijrah or you should make hijrah, then do it. Even if it's not solely for knowledge, you can make hijrah for something else. You can be a layman Muslim. I'm not a talib al-ilm, but I want to make hijrah. I want to live among the kuffar and the mushrikeen and the fusaq. I don't want to live among church bells and liquor stores and clubs and movie theaters and blah, 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 blah. You don't have to make hijrah just for ilm. You make hijrah for your spirit as a whole, for your religion as a whole, for your children, your wife, your family as a whole. Wallahu alam. Jazakallah khairan. We try to make the best out of the scenery that we have. Very important element of HadithDisciple. People ask about HadithDisciple school of thought. What does it mean to be a disciple? What is the first step? How do you? This is a part of it. It's to find beauty wherever we are. A tree, a river, a desert, mountain, in front of a dumpster. That's 5 minutes of fa'idah. Wherever you are. Next question says, SIKHW from London, UK. What's your view on Tablighi Jamaat? My view on Tablighi Jamaat is that they have done many beneficial things for Islam and for the Muslims. Many people have accepted Islam through their efforts. Many people have come to the Sunnah because of their efforts. Many people have stopped sinning because of their efforts. That's not an opinion, that's a fact. It's not an opinion, that's not a view, that's an actual haqiqah, that's a fact, statistic. All right? As far as other issues or the bad issues, the importance that they place on seeking knowledge, or the lack of importance that they place on seeking knowledge, certain issues with their aqeedah, mistakes and flaws in their aqeedah, certain issues when it comes to bid'ah, certain things which are not proven in the authentic sunnah, fabricated hadiths, weak hadiths, okay, traveling to certain mosques other than the 3 mosques, etc. The mukhalafat that they have, like other groups have, other Jamaat Da'wiyah have them. Whatever name or title they give themselves, they have virtue with them, they have good with them, and there are other things that aren't so good with them. So therefore, if you accepted Islam because of Tablighi Jamaat, or you became pious because of them, alhamdulillah, thank them for that, respect them for that, make dua for them. And as far as if you come across more information, more details, more knowledge, more authentic stuff, then that's what you follow. And it's just that simple. All right? Wallahu alam. HG, Fontana, California. Can I say the evening adhkar after both Asr and Maghrib to stay on the safe side? It depends, like we said before, guys. What is the adhkar? A general adhkar for the evening after 12 p.m. bil ghadati wal ashi. All right? It depends, yani. The different words and terms you have in the Quran and Sunnah. Al-abkar, al-ashi, okay? Al-ghadat, all right? Al-masa. The different words and terms that are used. Some of those words mean sunset. Some of those words mean after 12 p.m. Some of those words mean the afternoon, the evening. It depends. So the specific adhkar should be mentioned specifically. If the Prophet ﷺ said sunset, sunrise, then that's what it is. If the Prophet ﷺ said after this time, afternoon, asr, then that's what it is. And if it's general, then say it when you want to. Wallahu alam. Sheikh, can you give some context as to when muta marriage was allowed and if the rights of the man and the woman was different? Muta marriage was made lawful, no doubt about that. Some scholars say it was prohibited, then it was made lawful again, and then it was finally, eternally, perpetually abolished. And that's the correct understanding, the correct view. The Sunnah clearly proves that. So therefore, it was a time in which the Sahaba had to travel for whatever reason, for battle, jihad fi sabilillah, whatever they were traveling for, and they needed that, and it was a hardship, and it was lawful. After that, it was abolished. Wallahu alam, that's in brief. AS from Bronx, New York. What's the prophetic way of treating your wife, and do you know of a book that deals with how to function in marriage properly upon the Sunnah? Yeah, Bulugh al-Maram, the book of marriage, and the book of treating women and kind treatment of women, which we have begun to explain. It's on the channel. Perfect start. There are many different translations, rasail, different treatise here and there. Those are all good, but start off with the Sunnah, with the hadiths to talk about how to treat your wife, how to live with your wife, inshallah ta'ala. The general way, وَعَاشِرُهُنَّ بِالْمَعْرُوفِ, treat them honorably. Be kind to your wife. Don't be overcritical to your wife. Be patient upon your wife. Your wife may not be the best wife, or she may have a flaw or mistake. She may say something sarcastic to you. She may not cook your food perfect every time. She may disobey you every now and then, or whatever the case may be. She may find fault in you. You be the better person, inshallah. Have the thicker skin. Be kind to your wife. Be honorable to your wife. Treat your wife like she's your sister in Islam. Treat her like she's your friend. All right? Wallahu alam. SB, Ottawa, Ontario. Jazakallah khair. If your HadithDisciple playlist was a curriculum, which playlist should the student begin with? Shukran. 40 hadith on seeking knowledge. Osman Farouk. Sheikh, where you coming from, Sheikh? You got to mention your location, please. We know you come from Pakistan, but where? You got to, every time, inshallah. Jazakallah khairan. Jeddah D. Darks. Assalamu alaikum. Kef halak ya sensei. MQ UK. Reading UK. How does a Muslim attain inner peace? What's Islam perspective on inner peace? We've done many classes on that. Go back to all of the classes that we've done from Ibn al-Qayyim. Some of those classes are actually called Sakina, inner peace. Inshallah ta'ala, check it out. Mahmoud Jia. Alhamdulillah, thank you, Sheikh. Once things open up, hope to visit. You're more than welcome anytime. Yvonne Simmons, Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. YS from Delaware. It's okay to be on Zoom platform on Mother's Day with family members. Be on Zoom with your family anytime. As far as making a specific holiday, saying it's Mother's Day, I wouldn't advise you to do that. Make every day Mother's Day, inshallah. I am from London. I want to start doing cupping as a job. Will I get a reward for reviving the sunnah if this is my intention? Bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. Yes, inshallah. Tayyib. Emmy, Toronto, Canada. I seen a pic of a hairstyle I like, but the guy in the pic is a famous actor and he's a non-Muslim. I like the hairstyle, but my intention is not to imitate. Is that fine? That's fine, inshallah. As long as it is not specific to him. Wallahu alam. HD from Fontana, California. What do you recommend for someone who wants to live a healthier lifestyle but is afraid of getting evil eye from their family? You can't be afraid of the evil eye. Fear Allah. Allah is the creator of the evil eye. He's the maker of jealousy and of envy of the people. Fear Him. Once you fear Him, you have no worries. No worries in this world if you only fear Allah. Live your healthy lifestyle. Do what you want to do as long as it's permissible. And don't worry about it. Allah will protect you. And if you are afflicted by the evil eye, that was meant. It was meant to be. Jazakallah khairan, Sheikh. SB from Ottawa, Ontario. What's your top 3 history books? That's an interesting question now, isn't it? Huh? Maybe we'll talk about this another time, inshallah. I can't give you all my secrets, huh? You won't need me anymore. If I tell you my books, you won't be on the live stream anymore. Tayyib. Osman Farouk from Punjab, Pakistan. Sheikh, most of the apps there is time called Imsak. So how much time should I wait? Get a different app. Imsak is a bid'ah. Don't rely upon Imsak. You can find a different app. The world is open. Play Store, App Store, Google. It's so Islamic Finder, many different dependable apps and websites. Wallahu alam. Mahmoud G from Atlanta. I bought both of your 40 Hadith Seeking Knowledge books. Jazakallah khairan for your efforts. Wa yakum. Hopefully they were good and beneficial, inshallah. Please give us your feedback. J.A. from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh. Do you think Hajj will open up this year? Allah knows best. I mean, a part of me feels that the Muslims will be, have some type of shame and guilt, and they'll have some type of jealousy for it, and they'll miss it. Like they've opened up the other mosques and the Bilad al-Haramain now. May Allah bless the Muslims in Bilad al-Haramain. And a part of me feels that a gathering and a congregation of that magnitude is going to be problematic in light of social distancing, etc. I don't know. Allah knows. The quarantine has been a while now. It's been going on for a while now. We've seen all types of crazy stuff happening. Unfortunately, there are people saying, drink Lysol or bleach or put Ajax in your skin or in your veins or to get Allahu A'lam, yani. The craziness that we're living in. Mosques shutting down, closing down. People praying 6 feet away from each other. It's so dangerous that you got to stand 6 feet away from someone. Then why not just stay home? Why go to the mosque to pray a voluntary prayer if it's so dangerous? It's just craziness that we live in. Wallah, it's craziness. Who knows what's going to happen? They're saying that they're reopening in the States. Texas has been reopened. Atlanta has been reopened in this country, this Georgia, etc., etc. And then they're saying in the fall it's going to come back. Who knows what to believe? Allahu A'lam. Only my Lord knows. Nas'alullah al-afiyah. Question from Emmy, Toronto, Canada. How can one look good in Islam? How can we look good like the Prophet? Can we grow our hair like him? You look good with what Allah has given you. Allah gave you dark skin, you look good in that. Allah gave you light skin, you look good with light skin. Allah made you tall and thin, alhamdulillah. He made you short and stocky, alhamdulillah. Allah gave you nappy, peasy hair, alhamdulillah. Curly hair, alhamdulillah. Straight hair, thin hair, alhamdulillah. You make the best out of what you have, all right? And there's nothing wrong with the culture as long as the culture doesn't go against the specific rules of Islam. So if the culture promotes you to have nice sneaks, and you wear nice sneakers or trainers, whatever you want to call them. If the culture promotes you to get a nice haircut, get a nice shape up, a sharp shape up, alhamdulillah. Smell good, alhamdulillah. As long as it doesn't fall under the restriction of Islam. Find beauty in what Allah has given you. Wallahu alam. You can grow your hair like the Prophet, yes. SQ from Chicago, Illinois. How much can dua change qadr? There's two types of qadr, guys. There's a qadr which does not change, never changes, will not change, shall not change, has not changed. That which is in the Lawh al-Mahfuz. And then there's a qadr that is in the hands of the angels, the scrolls and the books that they have, the missions that they're given. And then when a servant makes dua, Allah Azza wa Jalla will allow those things to be changed. Wallahu alam. Yunus طيب Dua, Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. How should a Muslim deal with their family members who have denounced Islam? La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. It's a calamity and a catastrophe. Ask Allah for protection and for strength and for support. They're still your parents. Serve them if you can. Respect them if you can. But at the same time, distance yourself in certain things. Be mindful of your children. Be mindful of them following grandma and being an apostate while the other billah. That's dangerous. And no doubt, someone who leaves Islam is more dangerous than someone who's never a Muslim, unfortunately. Ask Allah for support. خُذِ الثَّوْرَ وَحْذَرْ قَرْنَيْهِ. The Arabs, they say, grab the bull, but watch its horns. Wallahu alam. Bilal Muhammad, Philly, PA. Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh. Why have we not started Islamic communities? Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Part of the question I think is valid or plausible and practical. And another part of the question I don't think is plausible. I think a part of the question will be, and it's inshallah not your intention, but I think it's inaccurate and disrespectful. The part that's accurate or plausible is, why don't the Muslims in Philadelphia or other parts of the world, of America or Pennsylvania, why don't we have our own farms, and which is a patch of land and which is predominantly inhabited by Muslims? If a non-Muslim lives there, no problem, they're our neighbor. Why don't we have a circulus, a radius? A radius is the word I meant to use, not a circulus, because that's even a word. A radius in which out of this patch of land, 70% of the houses are Muslim. 80% of the businesses are Muslim. The barbershop is Muslim owned, the laundromat, fast food restaurant, tire shop, Muslim produce. Why don't we have that? Muslim butchers, in which is a concentration of Muslims. Why don't we have that? Allahumma musta'an. There are many reasons behind that. But at the same time, there are Muslim communities. There are masjids that have been around in Philadelphia for 30 years, 40 years, 50 years, maybe even longer than that, 60 years. Okay, there are Muslim businesses established. There are Muslim libraries and bookstores established. There are members of a community. There's an imam and an assistant imam. There's a board. There are generation, second, third generation of Muslims. We can't deny that. And it's disrespectful to deny that. And I think this is one of the problems, or one of the reasons why there was a major wedge between the older imams and the young imams, of young students of knowledge who came back from Saudi, who learned Arabic, who had more knowledge. And there was a clash. And while many people didn't want to accept certain things because there was no respect. You come back to this imam, he's been imam 10 years, 20, 30 years, you tell him he knows nothing. He's stupid. He's upon bid'ah. This is wrong. That's wrong. You can't speak Arabic. You don't know the Quran. You never sat with the ulama. There's no respect to give him. You have to give respect to this brother. Even though he may have some flaws. He may not be properly learned, but he's still an imam of a community. You weren't born and he was on the streets fighting with drug dealers. Okay? Shutting down crack houses, getting dope fiends and prostitutes and liquor stores away from the area of the mosque. Where were you when this imam was doing this? And that's a part of establishing the community. So give respect where respect is due. I'm talking about my city. There's no doubt about that. However, it is sad when you look at it. The Muslims in Philadelphia are so plentiful, like no other place you go. So many Muslims, and you say, why don't we have more? We have a couple bookstores, we have some meat markets, we have this, we have that, but where's the real stuff? Do we have a library? Do we have our own funeral homes? One or two here or there? Okay, do we have our own clinic, a polyclinic? Do we Muslims have a blood bank? What do we have? Do we have our own cemetery? Not a part of a cemetery. Do we have our own cemetery? It's unfortunate. Do we have our own security team, security force here that's recognized by the city? It's unfortunate. La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. And there are reasons behind that. Tayyib. Last question we'll take is from Wafi Adam, Singapore. Assalamu alaikum. Any advice on inviting family members to pray and how to call them to the sunnah with hikmah? Yeah, depending on the family member. If it's your little brother, there's a way. Someone who's older than you, then it's a different way. Tell them how good the prayer makes you feel. You don't have to start off saying it's obligatory, you're going to go to hell if you don't, you're a kafir if you don't. Just tell them how good it feels. I get to talk to Allah. Sami Allahu liman hamid. Allah hears me, listens to me, answers my dua, inshallah. Stress is removed when I pray. Worry is removed when I pray. Anxiety is removed when I pray. I feel clean, I feel pure, I feel so good when I pray. And guess what, Ummi or Abby or son or stepson or wife or whoever? I want you to feel that sweetness. I want you to taste it like I tasted it. Start off with that, inshallah. And the same applies with the sunnah, the benefits of the sunnah, the advantages of the sunnah. I feel so proud. I feel so mighty. I feel so strong when I walk down the street with a beard. When I walk down the street and I'm implementing the sunnah, I feel so good. I feel so connected to Allah. I feel like I'm imitating the Prophet. I feel like I'm getting the rewards. Teach them about the sweetness of it. Encourage them, inshallah ta'ala. Inspire them and incite them. And if that doesn't work, or from time to time, you also cast fear into them. Tell them about the hellfire and Allah's wrath and Allah's anger and the things that are obligatory upon them. You have to mix it up, but try to start off with sugar and honey. Okay, give them the sweetness. Let them experience it, and maybe they'll listen to you. Don't apply too much pressure. Don't stress them too much. Don't push them too much. Gradually, inshallah. And Allah surely knows best. We'll stop here tonight. Iftar is fast approaching. Don't forget, guys, Thursday, May 28th at 9 p.m. Eastern Time will be an inheritance according to Quran and Hadith. Bidnillahi ta'ala, follow up from the Islamic Will and Testament. Go to HadithDisciple.com to purchase your tickets and to register. That's going to be Thursday, May 28th at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Jazakumullahu khairan.